Morning, everyone. Doug Burson, CPA here in Lee Summit, Missouri. Here we are on April 17th. Thought tax season would be over. I actually thought I'd be out sitting on my tractor or fishing or doing something fun, but hey, I get to spend more time with you guys. So there's a lot of questions here I want to go over that we've had this week. There are what I've picked to be the top questions that, and if we're getting that many calls, I know a lot of you out there have the same questions. So we're just going to go through them one by one, and I think you're going to get some value from this episode. So first question is, we've been getting this one a lot: when will I get my stimulus payment? Everybody wants to know. Now, thankfully, a lot of you have. I got mine on Wednesday, and a lot of other people did too. But what if you didn't get it? Well, 15 days from the time they send it out, you will get a letter, is what they've told us, letting you know, so that way you can confirm that you actually did receive it and it didn't go somewhere it was not supposed to go. But if you have not received it yet, there is a website, and I did a video on that yesterday. You can go to irs.gov. If you didn't see the video, watch the other one we have posted on that, and you'll be able to check the status. So that's how you take care of that. But the next question I'm getting, the IRS website you told us isn't working. Well, it's not my fault, but first of all, they are fixing it, and I've been told to just keep checking. They'll get it updated, so keep looking, and you should start getting some answers here in the next few days. Remember, this thing is just coming out so fast. There's glitches. Be patient, but if you check there, you will be able to find out when you're going to receive it. Another common question we've gotten with this is, how do I change my direct deposit? Well, it's the same thing. You go into that same place, you'll be able to update your direct deposit information. However, if you filed a 19 return that already had the direct deposit information in it, you shouldn't have to do anything. It's supposed to happen automatic. But if you owed, you can go in there, you can get it updated, and that's going to greatly expedite how long it takes to get it. Because if you let them do the check in the mail, it's going to take a while. And that leads to my next question. What if I don't want direct deposit? Well, if you didn't have direct deposit associated with your tax returns, you're going to be okay, and they're going to mail it. The problem is with the mail is what they're saying is they're going to do it based on need. So if your income is low, those people will be at the beginning of the list, and if your income is high, your stimulus payment is going to be greatly, we don't know, it could be a couple months before they can get that out to you, because that's a lot of checks they've got to mail, and it's going to take time. So if you want it quicker, go ahead and do the direct deposit update on the IRS's website. Now, this one we've gotten several times. What if I get more than I was supposed to? So let's say you claimed your child last year, and now they're going to be claimed on someone else's tax return. Or one that we've gotten several of is, my spouse passed away, but they paid me the money. Well, our understanding is, at least for now, if you receive the payment, it's yours. I want to be careful with that, though, because they've changed stuff on us so many times. I'm not 100% confident, but I will let you know if that changes. But at this point, if you receive the payment, it's yours, and I'll let you know if that changes. Another one that I got this morning, why did I get less than the amount of the stimulus? It's supposed to be $1,200 a piece, and I got a smaller amount. Well, remember, there was those AGI limits. So if you made more than $75,000, or if you made more than $150,000 if you're married filing joint, there was a reduction of 5% for every amount that you made above the limit. And then the head of household, I think it was $132,000. If you need that, that's in one of my other videos. But there is that reduction. So if you got less, check and see if your last tax return had an AGI above those limits, and that will explain it. One thing that's in there that's interesting, though, is it's a 5%. So if you were a married couple who made $150,000, you would phase out at $198,000. However, if you had children, that amount may extend that cap, and the way that everything is written, I believe that's going to be the case. So if you made $198,000, were married with one kid, you will get the additional for the child. So we'll have to wait and see if I'm right on that, but that's sure what it looks like. So we'll just have to see if that's correct. There is something on that though I want you to understand. The IRS wanted you to get that money. So if you have back taxes with the IRS, you're still supposed to get the payment. The only thing that's supposed to be able to stop that is back child support, or if you have a debt with your bank, it's possible that when it went in that bank account, if your bank has a claim on that account, that they could potentially still intercept it. That'll be between you and the bank. But other than that, the only thing that's supposed to get in the way is back child support. Now, the next thing that we've had a lot of calls on, I mean a lot of calls on, is unemployment, especially for those of you who are self-employed. You're saying, Doug, you said I'm going to get it, and every time I contact the state, they say, no, you're not. You don't qualify. You don't qualify. Well, I'm still going to say you do. And Missouri has said that starting at the next week, as early as next week, so let's put that in quotation marks, as early as next week, they're going to start getting that updated. And Kansas, I think, is being a little more honest. What they're saying is, we have begun the process of implementing these vital programs. However, they are not yet available. You will be notified once these are available. So Kansas is at least saying, hey, we're getting to it as fast as we can. We'll let you know. Missouri is expected to start next week. That doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to get it next week, but they have said they are starting. Both states have, and they will back pay to catch that up. So hang tight. And one of the things that Missouri has added in is if you're a self-employed person and you haven't applied yet, when you apply, when you get to the part that says states you have worked in, indicate none. They said if you're self-employed and you have not worked for anyone else in the last 18 months, put none in, and that's supposed to help them expedite getting this thing to work for you. Once they've done that, they're going to require proof of your self-employment, such as maybe a copy of a Schedule C. They said things such as business cards, advertisements, telephone listings. Who has one of those anymore? Business licenses. They may use things like that to verify that you really did have income and that you really were self-employed, to try to cut back on fraud. So be prepared for that, but they are getting to it, I promise. Next question. A lot of you have already received your PPP loans, and that's great. I'm very happy for you, but some of you haven't. But those of you who have said, what's next? Well, it's going to be critically important that you keep good records. So if you're the kind of person who pays people in cash, stop it. Do things the right way. You've got to have records. If you're paying out cash, if you're bad at keeping up with your records, if your record keeping idea is a shoebox that may or may not get stuff into it, get it together. You may need to get with somebody like us to help you right now, because records are going to be critical in getting this thing forgiven. And we need to make sure you understand that. You got to have records. For self-employed people, the same thing. You can't just pay it all to yourself. If you're a Schedule C, you're limited to 2 times, or 8/50 seconds of whatever it was last year of income is all that can go to you. The other has to go to other expenses. So we're going to cover that more. I'll probably try to do that over the next week or so. Let the details come out. Some of that's still being debated in Congress or with the Treasury, whoever's working through these things. I guess it's not Congress, but the Treasury and the IRS, of how this is going to all be done. As I get details, I'm going to share that with you. So, but for now, records. Get your records, run the money through the bank account, stop doing cash, do it the right way, and you're going to be okay. On that same thing though, what if you can't open? So you got the loan, it was approved. It clearly says that the 8-week period starts from the time of the loan funding. So that means that's the 8-week period that we're going to get to use for the forgiveness. Now, if you're in Kansas, I believe we have a stay at home until May the 4th, I think. Missouri, I think they just extended to May 15th, at least in our area. What are we going to do? I guess we got to look at we have to look at the spirit of the law. The spirit was they wanted us to be paying employees and keeping our business together so when this thing opens up, we're ready to go. So if we interpret that, then we're going to have to put them back on payroll in order to be forgiven. However, I'm not 100% sure on that because there's a lot of discussion being had right now behind the scenes. I'm hopeful that they will move that 8-week period to when we can actually open. So I really don't have an answer on that. I know what it says right now. Right now it says from the time it's funded, so I have to operate from that premise. But just stay tuned and we'll see. Most of you are just now starting to get funded. We're going to have some decisions to make over the next week, and we're just going to have to make them based on what we know at this point in time. But I'm doing everything I can to get solid answers on that, and I will share it, because if you're not allowed to even open, let's be honest, a lot of your people are going to be better off if you let them stay on unemployment than forcing them to go back to work. And the flip side of that is you got to look at your business too. If you can go back to work May 4th, maybe you're better off not putting them back on payroll until the 4th and having that extra couple weeks as a war chest, because we really don't know how bad this is going to impact our businesses till we get there. You may be better off just having that as a loan. Remember, it's only 1% for two years, so that's a decision you're going to have to make, and maybe a question that we need to have directly to try to work through those. There's going to be some things, and every business is going to have to deal with that on an individual basis. On the 7B, we can no longer apply for either. The funds there appear to be fully allocated, and so far I've only seen one of our clients has gotten any correspondence on that. So it was a first come, first serve. I know on a lot of these loans, you guys, we got our apps in early, and yet we still didn't get anything. So I don't know what to say about that, but the 7B, some are going to get it. We don't know when. We do know that it's $1,000 per employee is basically how they're going to allocate it. And then on the EIDL loan, we just haven't seen it happen yet. So at this point, we're just going to have to wait and see. But there is one thing that I saw that I think I want to make you guys aware of, and that is the Chamber of Commerce has now put out there a grant that they're getting together that's $5,000. It's going to be first come, first serve as well, and you're going to have to be from an area that the zip code is allowed. But I typed in 64063 for Lee's Summit, and it said that zip code was eligible. So it's basically the bottom 80% of zip codes, which is most of the country, is going to be eligible for these. And so you have to go to savesmallbusiness.com, savesmallbusiness.com. And I wanted to share that if you didn't get anything in the other ones, or you still are going to need some more support, go there, apply. The worst that can happen, you don't get that, but maybe that's going to be a lifeline to help you if you weren't able to get one of the other ones yet. So savesmallbusiness.com. If I find of any more grants, I'm going to share that with you. If any of you guys know about any, drop that in the line below. Let me know, and we'll try to share that with as many of you as we can, because I want to make sure that we're giving you all the options that we know about. And then that brings me to the PPP loan. I know they ran out of money, and I know a lot of you did everything you were supposed to, and you got your applications in. I know some of you didn't listen, and for those, well, you didn't listen. So listen now. I believe they're going to do more, and I believe they're going to stop fighting eventually, because they all love one thing more than helping anybody else. They love to get reelected, and they want to get reelected, so they're going to get this passed, is what I believe. So call your banker today. Get on their list. If you already got it in there, get on them to make sure they know you want to be at the top of the list. And if you need to get stuff, let me know. Let's get your apps in and make sure on round 2, you don't miss the boat. You got to do it, though. It's not going to happen on its own. Last one, why is my portal broken? I have no stinking idea. For some reason, some of my clients, when they try to log into the portal, it says their password can't be the same as the name of their business. It's not. I don't know. But as soon as I get it fixed, I'll try to let you guys know, one thing at a time. If you need something from us and you can't get it on the portal, just call my front desk. She'll be glad, and we're gonna have to deal with it like that. So that's it, guys. That's everything that I know today. We'll be doing more of these. We're gonna do a lot more on how to make sure you're doing what you have to have the loans forgiven. And if there's more opportunities that come out, I'm gonna share those too. So if this was helpful, please go down below, say you liked it. Also go ahead and subscribe. That's going to help me know if I'm being effective, if it's useful, and leave comments. That's great. Maybe I can answer some of them too. I am watching those, so I can give answers that way from time to time. But yeah, please subscribe and like. That lets me know that, is this effective use of our time or not. Talk to you later.